Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Drinks with Deg with your host Deg and co-host with the mostest.
It's Julia Gooley.
Yeah. We're bringing you all the shits and everything this week, of course. I hope you guys had a good week. I'm enjoying my vacation, the last of it. I'm sad. I gotta go back.
At least, you picked what was probably the last week of semi-decent weather before we're now just in an oven for 2 months.
Yeah, and it's on boil.
It's so bad.
It's the worst. Like my car read 100 degrees today.
Yeah, we were under a heat advisory or something.
That's great.
Super rude. Don't like it. Everything's stuffy. It gets gross.
Fucking Texas, but I'll never leave.
Hell yeah.
Fuck that. Oh, okay. So this week we are going to be talking TV. Just like TV shows in general. I know a lot of people don't have much else to do right now during quarantine, which is totally understandable. Just be safe, all that good stuff. And I just figured this would be just a good topic because me and Julia have just a variety of like different things that we watch. Like there there's just like a whole array. So I just wanted to get into that. But of course, before we get into all that, I have to go into Pick Your Poison. Woo!
I want an audience for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We need a freaking soundboard, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just want a preloaded Gene Belcher soundboard.
Yes. We need to make that happen ASAP. ASAP. So, pick your poison. I made another drink with rum.
Yes,
again.
what is this? It's delicious. I'm halfway
It was
through.
just a Deg's creation. I just thought of it in the car because I was like, man, do I really want to go like all out again and like do like a specific drink, or let's just like make something at home. So I was just like, fuck it. I have pineapple Fanta. It's gonna be a good time. So no, it's a great time. So I just basically used the Malibu strawberry rum with pineapple Fanta, and I added some grenadine for a little razzle dazzle.
I'm so glad you got it this week, man.
Yeah,
It's life changing.
yes, fuck yeah. So, and Julia's really enjoying it. I'm gonna make me a drink, of course, but I really wanted her to like try it and like.
I'm about it.
Yeah,
I'm very
thumbs up?
about it. Too enthusiastic thumbs up.
Fine holiday fun. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So, okay. So with these TV or shows, I just want to know what you guys have been watching. If you guys are re-binging anything, this one just kind of goes all over the place, and I like that. I like the fact that it's a broad subject, but it's so loaded. Like there's so many categories and things of that nature. So I'm just like really stoked to get into it.
I feel like especially too with quarantine and all this business going on,
Yes.
I finally have the adequate time to binge all the shows that I've been meaning to watch for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
It's
no,
been great.
seriously. Seriously, I love to do that. I'm like, oh, well, this was a good show, and blah, blah, blah. Let's just get into it, and I loved it. But, yes, no, there were some shows that I just started watching, and I want to punch myself because I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do, so.
Oh, word, like what?
So basically, I started watching, 90 Day Fiancé.
Dude, okay, so I have so many questions.
Okay,
about
go.
the show. First, a big and solid resounding what? Because I only know it from the memes, right? And obviously the name of the show, so you kind of get a grasp.
Right.
But apparently, it seems I don't know. There's certain level of reality television shows where you're like, okay, I know it's gonna be a little dramatic or scandalous.
Oh, that's my that's my Christmas, man.
This one seems super almost like it's designed to manufacture memes though, some just real silly shit going down.
We see you, TLC. We see you. Okay. Oh man, no, it's just wild. Okay, so basically, these people on the show found the love of their life or whatever online using different apps, and it's not like Tinder where they're within your radius or any kind of other dating site. I don't know. I'm just single, so I just
Loving it.
So basically, they go online and then And it's weird because some of them have never FaceTime, never talked on the phone, or anything of that caliber. It's like straight up setting you up for catfish, to
Oh
be
shit.
catfished. There's some instances like that, but then there are other instances where they they are that person
Oh.
that they say. I don't think I'm only on season 2 right now, but I don't think that any of them had been like legit catfished or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, well that's cool. And yeah, and it's crazy because it's like they have there's usually like a huge age gap
Oh.
between them. Yeah.
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 I understand this formula.
I was like, okay, I see y'all. But then there was like this one couple that I'm like still rooting for. Her name is Darcy and Jesse. And I was like, oh man, he's a dream come true. He's from Amsterdam and stuff like that. And but he has like a very controlling nature about him, even though he's 24.
Oh,
And
word.
so it's weird how their relationship itself is toxic. Like I could just tell you like right off the bat. At first I was like rooting for them, but then like they do like a reunion special like at the end of the season.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, dude, it was one of those things and it was just like they just like literally went off on each other and then after everything was done they just walked off stage with their holding hands and I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Dude,
Like,
that's like Ron and Sam.
yeah. No, it literally is Ron and Sam. Literally. Oh my gosh. Like reality TV, man, that's my fucking Christmas right there, dude. Like I love it so much. And I hate the fact that I love reality TV and I'm just like, you know what? That's my Sunday night. Actually all of Sunday. Trash is just my trash TV. And I think a lot of my TV is trash, but when I say trash TV, I mean specifically my reality show.
Oh, yeah. That's how I feel about any reality television that I watch. Like, I feel like back in the day, I used to watch what would be more considered as, like, trash television. But now it's like, it's just total Bellas that I guys in this thing that, like, oh no, it's uplifting and they're, like, all about women empowerment, which they are, but it's, like, also scripted, dramatic scenes that I just can't get enough of.
No, seriously, that's how I feel with like the Kardashians and shit like that. Like that is my guilty pleasure. I really hate the fact that I could literally sit there and watch each fucking episode just like be like Kim said what?
I'm
like,
all roped in.
Courtney's
shit.
like, y'all are all just like really toxic for me. Like y'all aren't giving me off good vibes, and I'm just like, oh my god, shut up.
I don't think I've watched that show since high school.
Oh no, dude, I have to watch it, man. Like I'll just get in one of my little things. Like I don't know what to watch. Let's do that.
I
Like
wonder what they're up to these days.
yeah, seriously, like if we don't hear about it first, and every time some shit happens with them like on social media or whatever, I'm just like I can't wait for this episode.
Imagine a world where Kanye wins the presidency and then that's like what Keeping Up with the Kardashians becomes.
Seriously, it's just his whole campaign trail. That's it. That's all you get. Fuck. Guys, we're just joking. Do not vote for Kanye.
Yeah, please don't.
Please don't. This is all a joke, okay? You don't have to.
Remember the last time we joked about voting for someone silly? Look where that got us.
Yeah, jokes on us. I think that was like the second time that God ever laughed. Like he laughs every time we make plans.
Oh, yes. I was gonna ask, what's the first?
Yeah, the first one is God laughs every time we make plans. Second is the shit show called the United States of America.
Oh, jeez, man. Yeah.
And God could catch it any time because A, he's God, and B, there's different time zones, so whatever time zone he wants to be in for a particular shit show in the US, he totally can. So
oh, jeez.
So like God, what else did I really like to watch like reality TV wise? Oh man, remember we were obsessed with Big Brother for a while?
Yes, I think that season and a little bit of the one that came after it
Yeah.
are like the only seasons of that particular show that
I've watched several. I honestly hadn't kept up with Big Brother probably the last 4 or 5 seasons at least. At least.
They did like an All Stars thing.
Yeah,
right?
oh yeah.
The 13th run. Or
Yes,
something.
I think they needed to do. I still think that they need to do just like an all stars, but with the winners, and with the runner-ups
Yeah,
or whatever.
like RuPaul does.
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
pretty much like RuPaul, and RuPaul's also great fucking reality TV. Like,
Dude, that's my jam.
that, yeah,
That's just life changing.
yes. Everything about RuPaul is just life changing, and I love how there have been significant one-liners from each season.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
I love how as that show's grown and become more like more people have been exposed to it, and like that whole kind of culture in our society and stuff, and how you'll see just like jokes that come from like season 4, and then all of a sudden someone's saying it and you're just like, someone binge RuPaul.
Yes. Exactly. And oh, dude, I think that same summer too, we were like super. I mean, we were still in the Jersey Shore like before, but fucking Ron and Sam.
I think at that point though, because yeah, it was like maybe the summer after I graduated, or maybe that year after that that show started dwindling down and people started catching cases.
Yeah, seriously. Got married, became parents and shit like that. Like, it's weird. To me, it's weird because it's like, oh, Pauly D's a dad? Like, that still blows my mind.
I was watching some show recently, and Snooki was like a judge or like a host.
Oh, yeah, on a tattoo show. Yes. Yeah. Oh, my God.
That show is silly.
That show is silly, and it pisses me off. I'm just like, why would you want to tattoo a toilet on somebody? Like, do you really hate them that much?
I watched, the only thing that I've been like exposed to with that show was a compilation that was like people who were together.
Was that the one that you sent me?
Maybe, I don't know.
It was like on Facebook or something.
Probably.
It was a compilation. I'm like, what the hell am I
They were all
watching?
like basically just like screwing each other over, like wanting to break up or being like, oh, I'm mad
Just
at you for doing something.
I'm mad at you for not answering my phone call. Like, what the fuck?
I would love to know what the like laser tattoo removal rate is post that show.
Oh, seriously.
Like, does it come with the whole like experience?
I don't know. They're really tattooed on there.
And
they're really red, but I feel like it's I don't know. I've been around too much reality TV to know that there has to be a catch to it.
Yeah, that's what I always think. Cause maybe in the beginning of stuff like that, they were just like, oh yeah, you're basically gonna get like a free tattoo or like discounted tattoo or a tattoo by a really profound fucking artist and get to be on television, so that should be enough for you. And I know some people are just like okay with kind of getting whatever tattooed on them, and that's fine. But there are some instances where I'm just like, I can't believe this. This is like you're getting away with murder.
Yeah,
like you put some crazy shit on someone's skin.
Yeah, and I think people just get that like complex to where it's like they're on TV, so they have to put on a show. You know what I mean? Because they know people are watching. They feel like they need to put on a show.
That Jerry Springer vibe.
Oh man, I missed me some Jerry Springer.
Me too.
Fuck yeah.
He was just like, it was weird because Jerry Springer himself seems just like a really wholesome kind of dude.
He really does. Like, I'd want to hang out and grab some coffee with him.
Like, he's not skeezy. Like, yeah, his show and the context. But him himself, he's just like,
dude, one of my favorite. Yeah.
Like, he wears New Balance sneakers, dude.
Love him. Just you get the spatula, chef. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely. Oh shit, what was I gonna say? Oh, like one of my favorite like episodes that even like Ricky Lake used to do, and Jenny. What was her name? Jenny Craig?
No,
that's a weight loss thing.
No, Sally Jesse.
There was Sally Jesse Raphael, but there was Jenny something.
I don't remember.
Was it Jenny Craig? The world may never know. But anyway, but they always did these ones where they would do like the transformation.
Oh yeah.
Or they would do man or woman.
What is that?
That's whenever they would like these beautiful bikini models would come out, and you would have to guess who was a man previously.
Fucking rad.
Yes, it was my fucking favorite. And I'm like, Adam's apple. And then some of them hoes got smart and they decided to do like the Rachel with their hair and like have it swoop in around their face so you couldn't tell. Yeah. I was like, fucking Rachel. God dang it. So
Honestly, that haircut though changed
it
the
no,
lives
it
of
really
so many
did. It
people.
really did. Oh man, we're gonna talk about that here in a second. Fucking, and I'm just gonna name some of my other trashy TVs, which is like Mob Wives. I fucking love Mob Wives. R.I.P. Big Ange. Yeah, Mob Wives.
Is that show still going?
No, it actually ended. Like I think right when it was like right when Ange got diagnosed, but her cancer came back like woof. It was like really terrible and really scary, and yeah, so
I always get that one confused with the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
I can't stand the Real Housewives. Like, it's
I
so
don't either.
crazy.
I don't like that. Well, I say liked. I could tolerate the New Jersey one just because New Jersey women in that, like, very
in that setting,
stereotypical,
yes.
like, kind of, like, the South Park episode style kind of thing. It's just, like, funny as fuck to me, but... that lady Teresa, is she in that show?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's actually just batshit crazy and funny.
Yeah.
But everything else from that, and it's like really specific to like a season or two. And I think I tried to watch like, what they have like Atlanta and Beverly Hills, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
My brother watches all that TV. He's like, "Oh, it's Tuesday. There's some good TV on tonight."
Does he watch that, or does Gino watch that? Wait,
no.
Which brother?
No, my oldest brother Michael. No, he's like, "Well, there's some good TV on tonight," and I'm like, "You didn't sound 1,000 years old saying that, like." Like, oh, gotta put on my soaps, you know, like. But like the earlier, oh man, and I also love Jerseylicious. That one was so fucking good. I don't know why I loved it. I guess because it was all the makeup and all the smoky eye that you could get back in 2009. You know, it was a whole ass look.
The raccoon stand.
Hell yeah, it was my favorite.
Dude, Jeffree Star's Cremated would have done so good back then.
Yeah, seriously. But now it's not going to do good ever. But I also thought it was kind of funny that his last palette is called Cremated.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Dug his own grave. The Hills was also...
The Hills!
Yeah.
Such a good show.
Oh, man. I loved all the D-rama, man. Oh, my God. Like, it was just so crazy. Oh, God, what was her name? Audrina and Justin Bobby were, like, my faves.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was, like, more, like... They were, like, the punk rock people of the group. And I was like... And then Justin Bieber could get it. Like, I was like, not mad that you ended up with her, dude. And then they did, like, the Reunited or whatever, which I haven't finished watching, to be perfectly honest with you. But, like, Audrina's, like, divorced and whatever. And Justin Bobby, like, just didn't have anybody. And...
Do you remember the ending of that show?
Oh, my God.
That shit pissed me off,
That
dude.
shit was so fucking lame.
I still, like, it haunts me. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I guess I get what it means, but what did it mean? Was it all fake? Was it, what? Ah, man, that shit shook me at the time.
Shooketh.
I loved that show, though, because it was, like, it was the perfect, like, I have nothing to do in summer, but, like, I want to feel summery.
Yeah, no, same, dude. I would love, oh, man, I would just watch it, and I would, like, knock the fuck out, and like, they would be replaying fucking episodes at God knows what hours of the night whenever I was still awake actively, and I would just like watch it, and then I'd get hooked again and rewatching. So man, I definitely need to rewatch that show. I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu, right?
They have that
excuse me,
if you have like Roku, but I think you can just download it as an app, but it's the Pluto like free TV thing.
Cool.
That app is amazing because it's basically just like channels. But they'll have, like, channels that are specific where all day it's playing something. And they do have a Hills one, so all day it's playing the Hills. They have a Dog the Bounty Hunter one, dude.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Oh, and an Unsolved Mysteries, like the OG
like, ones?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's fucking great to hear.
They have all kind, and then they have, like, those, like, more, like, not network television channels, like Vice and stuff like that. Or well, even, like, ones that are kind of more... I don't want to say lower tier, but more obscure than that or whatever. So you can just find, like, channels that are really, like, specific to, like, a hobby, or, like, I know they have, like, THC ones or stuff like that. Cool. I'm like, Pluto, you're doing it. And all they have is just, like, they just have commercials, but they're, like, ads on YouTube. Like, just, like, real simple,
I wouldn't be, like, too worried about it, but, like, let's, like, kick it back a little bit more. I fucking love. I think what got me exposed to reality TV, thanks a lot MTV, was the Real World.
Yeah, like Road Rules, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
when they would
All
do the
those.
Real World, like Road Rule. I wasn't a big fan of Road Rules, but Real World, I was. I loved it, all of it.
Yeah, both of those shows. Those are like, I think there's like one other one that's kind of similar to like Big Brother, but like those are like the beginnings of reality
Oh
television.
yeah, absolutely.
Which I think I love a good reality television show that like is like a game.
Yes.
Like all those ones, like, because that's fun because it stresses people out.
Well,
And you get to
yes.
see them just be stupid.
Or like whenever they would do the previews or whatever, and you'd see an ambulance, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
The scandal.
Like, and then people are just there, like fucking profusely sweating and just like, with their and then it's really not that big of a deal. Like, okay, she tore her fucking shin, or
Yeah.
like just some bullshit like. Her Achilles tendon was bad in the beginning anyway, just wanted to let everybody know now. It's like, it's fucking dumb. And that was the shit that would piss me off in like those kinds of shows. But yeah, I just Road Rules, I was just like, meh. And like, oh god, I just can't stand The Bachelor.
Oh yeah, I've never got into
I
that.
never could, I never should, and I don't think I ever will, because I just like, it's been on for so, and I tried like Dancing with the Stars too. Dancing with the Stars I could get to a certain extent, but then I'm like, oh, they dance pretty good, and then like they're giving them like a 2 rating.
Yeah.
On a scale from 1 to 10, and I'm just like, they put their heart out there.
Yeah.
They put their soul out there. Like,
They're
it's
not
fucking
gonna
American
be, like,
Idol.
Professionals overnight.
You're going to Hollywood, my friend. Yes, the OG, man. American Idol was great.
Oh, I remember the first season. I was all about Kelly Clarkson.
Yes, dude, as you should be. Fuck yeah, I probably watched like maybe wholeheartedly like maybe 4 seasons total. And I used to call the toll-free number and fucking vote. So fuck out of here. And same thing with Total Request Live. I'd call them. I asked my mom, hey, it's going to be like 30-something cents for me to call from the house phone. Just be ready. I want to request a song.
Gotta do it. Oh, man, I forgot all about that show. Like, I remember...
Carson Daly he's a fucking G is what it is.
He really is, dude.
He could adapt to everybody in any fucking situation. Like, he was just like... There's like this one like little compilation of like him like saying hi to all the guests or whatever, and just how his persona just kind of shifts, and he does like this badass fucking like handshake with Busta Rhymes, and it's literally one of the favorite things, and I'm pretty sure that when I'm on my deathbed it'll probably flash before I go. So
I just love that he's such like I think one of the only like VJs or whatever you want to call them that like really became like iconic in and of its own self.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
Because that's like, I mean, I think that at a certain point too, it kind of got to the point where it was just like, instead of it being like cool for him to be interviewing people, it's like cool for those people to be like, oh yeah. Shit, yeah.
Seriously, I would like a whole like documentary series as to like these people who were huge staples in like VJing and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was like a whole wave of time.
That was. Remember that guy Jesse who was the VJ, and he was just like all crazy and shit like that?
Was he like the white guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and he was just like so wild and like so out there and things like that. Like Kurt Lauder, like they just put up a picture of him recently, and he's old as shit, and it made me feel old as shit. Okay.
I think I've seen that. Dude, I wonder what Steven Entitled Rock Show is doing.
I bet you he still looks like a babe.
Can I Google?
Yes, you can, because I really want to know. Because I had the biggest crush on him, and he's the reason why I don't like the band Train. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those, like, answer an email from a fan type of shit. And he goes on to say that, the lead singer from Train was kind of a dick to him. And he said that was the worst interview that he ever had. And I was like, nobody does Steven like that.
No.
How dare y'all? How dare y'all? So, that's where I'm at right there.
Dang, I have no clue what the guy looks like this. And you know what the biggest fucking scandal is?
Yeah.
His first name is Jeffrey.
No.
Yeah.
Please shut the front door. Why?
Oh no, dude, this is what he looks like, dude. He went bald.
Ah, fuck me.
He looks like he would like sell me a newspaper in like 1910 London.
Fuck, he was such a hottie. Every
He kinda
time he'd
looks
have
like the
Taking
dude
Back
from
Sunday
Simple
on
Plan.
there. All the time. And oh god, he was babelicious. And I just remembered that he was the reason why I got into that band, Fugazi.
Oh word, yeah, that show is the reason I got
And
into so many
Jawbreaker,
bands.
yeah. Like, because he would talk freely about these bands. They would never be on the show.
Mhm.
Like, ever. But, whenever he'd play different music or whatever. And, you remember Pants Off, Dance Off?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was a good...
That whole network was just amazing.
It
They
really
really did the
was.
most.
Yes, but then whenever they started to do more of, like, TV shows on there, I just,
Oh yeah, that's
like...
what every musical network
Steven
is.
Smith, that's what his name is.
Jeffrey Steven Smith.
Is it really?
Mhm, according to his Wikipedia page.
Fucking A, that makes me, like, really sad. And it's weird to even think of him like that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, he was, oh man, dude, he was such a babe. Such a babe. I really think that he was better than Carson Daly. But then he'd always say, like, this little sign-off thing. He's like, I'm coming for you, Joel McHale. Like,
I love that.
yeah, this dumb shit that I remember, It's just, oh my gosh, that is, like, too funny.
It's hard to, like, think that those existed probably around the same time because they just seem like two different points of time in my life.
Exactly. Like, The Soup, do you remember that on
Oh,
E!
yeah.
The Soup? It was just, like, and I wasn't a big fan of Howard Stern.
I remember when The Soup and, like, Tosh.0 first came out, and I
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
why are we talking about things that we see on the internet? Joke's on me!
Yeah,
dude! Like,
yeah, literally.
That's all we care about now, but I was like, that's such a weird concept.
It really is. It really is. It's just like, okay. And then, like, Howard Stern was just like, because he is his own person, and he set the bar very differently, and I admire it so much. It's just that I was really young when Howard Stern came out, so he just has these fucking big ass titty chicks that are in the chairs and just talking to him with just microphones on, and then this was all blurred out, and then I'd wait for that to finish so I could rewatch a rerun of Anna Nicole Smith's show, and so
Fuck yeah, dude.
so that's all I really cared about then. My priorities were way different compared to now.
Dude, the Anna Nicole Smith show was fantastic.
It was the greatest thing to ever fucking touch this planet. She's an angel.
Really is,
Yeah.
dude. Like a hot mess, but an angel nonetheless.
Yes! Oh man, that should go on a fucking t-shirt. Like...
Trademark. Copyright.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so that was all of our reality TV likes, dislikes, whatever. I actually wanted to touch up on docuseries, and I say that because this one isn't my strong point, but I feel like deep in my heart that I've watched more docuseries, but I can't name them.
See, I went through the same thing, the same thought process when I was thinking about everything, and I was like, it's just because it's all true crime, basically, that it mumbles together in just to factoids of weird shit that I know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was like, okay, I can rest my case. Basically I could sleep better at night knowing that these things are, true.
Yeah, exactly.
And, there were things that I was just like, okay, so that was some misinformation or whatever. Things like that. But, like, the two ones that I did think of, like, off the top of my head was the fucking Tiger King.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't even consider that. Have you seen that thing that's going around where it's like Tiger King quarantine was like just a whole ass other dimension?
Yeah, seriously. No, it felt like 1,000 years ago. It's
It
so
really
good.
does.
Fucking Carol Baskins, man.
I don't know where I was. It was somewhere around town, I think on the north side. And me and Matt were driving around, and there was a law office or whatever, and it said, "Have you or anyone you know been eaten by tigers?" And I was like, "What? Like, this isn't a joke." So what's happening?
What is going on?
I'm very confused.
Seriously, man. It was so good, and I can only imagine how set up she felt after watching the documentary because I'm sure that they had spun it
Oh,
to where
yeah, I'm
you know
sure
what I
it was
mean because she
skewed.
wouldn't have volunteered to do anything like that to like slander her name or like what she does or whatever. That fucking bitch.
But I also think that they, like, in the beginning of it, they kind of touched on how when they started doing this whole documentary, they thought it was gonna go a whole different direction.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, word, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, I need to know more. Like, I have so many
I have
unanswered
so
questions.
many questions. No, yeah. Oh man.
Are they doing, like, another thing for it? I thought I saw something like...
I know that they had added another episode. I just haven't watched it because it was just basically like interviewing everybody except for Carol
Huh.
because she didn't want to be a part of it. I guess once everything had released or whatever. So
Understandable.
I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah. And then like the most recent, I guess, docu-series that I watched was the Jeffrey Epstein one because I'm fucking crazy and I totally pointed out Pizzagate and now I see Pizzagate everywhere and it's just like a good feeling. I was just like, just go back to that episode, man. I talk about it. I talk about all that. All that.
Yeah, man, I still haven't watched that one.
Oh, it's good because it's just, I mean, I really hate the fact that Jeffrey Epstein's getting a lot of the credit. And I say that in a way that he is just literally like a sliver in all of what Pizzagate is. It's just that people just need to open up their eyes and see what's going on and what's around and, you know, things like that.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I figured there's way more players that...
Oh, yeah, man. They released
that.
it. They show you his log from all the people that he had piloted, I guess, over to that island or whatever. Clinton's on there, 1,000. We're gonna get into conspiracy theories here. There was another show. What was it called? Evil Genius.
Oh yeah, that woman, right? That was a really good one.
That one was good and trippy.
Yes.
It was so trippy. I was like, where do you think of this? Like, well, you're gonna just like tape this fucking bomb to somebody's neck and just like figure it out? Like, that's pretty much what I got from that. Guys, Evil Genius is really good. I highly recommend that. And what is that? Making a Murderer was a really good one too. I just didn't know who was doing all their haircuts because it concerned me.
Oh yeah,
Manitoba. That was the name of Manitoba County. Yeah, some shit like that. That really raised some eyebrows. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
Buckets of ridiculous. Agree. I was just like, ugh. But let's see. I think because only the docu-series, like I didn't really watch anything else because everything in my life revolves around murder and the horror and the gruesome and all that shit. Like I want to know some shit to educate me on that shit.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I feel like recently I watched the new wave of Unsolved Mysteries.
Yes.
And I really like. I mean, it has like key elements of like the original and stuff, but I do like that like. All of this stuff is more of like a relevant time of like me being cognitive instead of any other time that I've watched it. I'm like, either this is before I was born or I was like way too young to really like understand the time, like what was happening in the world at the time. Yeah,
for sure.
But it's always so weird, like when I was watching all these episodes on the new one and they'd be like, oh, 2006. And I'd be like, oh, yes, I was wearing like my first crossbody bag with like 10,000 pins and like putting on buckets of eyeliner that
just
year.
Like you should. I wouldn't have expected anything more or less.
It's so strange, like, but I liked it. I liked that they also didn't have a host in this one.
Yes.
I feel like if they had tried to do the other host, I mean, they did that in the past. I feel like that's a scandal and a half. But
what happened to my old man?
Yeah, that guy and his voice just like half-ass make that show. So
seriously,
you can't mess with that.
Exactly, I fucking agree. But I think those are like the key docu-series that like I've watched. Like, I don't think I've watched anything that was more.
Yeah, I never really get into like anything that's like super political or like any kind of stance thing. Like I know a lot of people watch stuff like the whole Super Size Me thing or like
Well, I like documentaries just like in general. I
I
don't
do,
feel that.
but I have to get hooked first, and it's really hard for me to like just knowingly go into something that's not spooky and just being like, yeah, this is gonna hook me. But there's plenty of
Spooky or
instances.
Illuminati, you have me at both. You know what I mean? If it
Exactly.
all ties into the New World Order, your girl is there. You know? I feel that though. I think that's very essential. So like there were some other of these topics, not topics, but I guess categories of TV shows. I know, like, let's see, what else do I have here? Well, we covered reality, document, oh, comedy, which is a great one.
Oh hell yeah.
Comedy is like our shit.
That's pretty much usually what I gravitate to when I watch television, just simply because like I like a good laugh and I don't want to like think too heavy when I'm watching television.
Right.
But I usually have go tos within like the comedy. Like obviously I can jam on some Seinfeld for days.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like one of those shows that kind of like how Friends is, and there's a couple others that
There's a
just like
fandom. There's
yeah,
a fandom
there's a
behind it.
fandom,
Yes.
and there's just like it stands the test of time kind of thing.
Yeah, that's how I
And
am with How I Met Your Mother.
exactly, that's
Duh.
another one of those kind of ones. And it's just so it's nice to just like always have that. But then like ones like Bob's Burgers I really like. I love the like
Oh,
funny.
we're gonna get to animation soon, so.
Oh yeah, I always forget that yeah, they're animated. Like, no, yeah, I know Bob. He's a real guy.
Yeah, seriously, he's a real person. Fuck yeah, what up, Gene? But no, like How I Met Your Mother, of course, that show itself, I can just make a whole ass podcast episode
Okay.
just solely based on How I Met Your Mother. No, the story's great. I've literally watched it at least 20 times. I'd say 28 or 20.
That's how I am with Seinfeld, and I love shows that are like that. You
Yeah.
can just like watch over and over, and then like each time that you watch it, you pick up new things. Even yesterday, as many times as I've watched Seinfeld, I found something yesterday that I never picked up on, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like that makes no sense. There was like season 3, and George is like talking about how he doesn't pay for parking, and no one in his family pays for parking. His mother, his father, and then he says his brother, and I'm like, you never have had a brother in the show. Like, why are we slipping this in on
Yeah.
season 3? It never gets talked about again. And I'm like over there feeling like a noob. Like I've watched this show 1,000 times
Yeah.
and I've never heard this.
No, same. And I also like recently when I was I just finished How I Met Your Mother again for like the 28th time, like I said. But I just like finished rewatching it, and then I just noticed that there were certain other little Easter eggs, I guess. That on that episode where Marshall and Lily are trying to figure out if they're both fertile and all that shit. It's the countdown episode. So it starts off at 100 and it counts down, like you see the numbers like 87 and like
Oh yeah, I had a friend in high school who told me something like that. There was like numbers involved in it, and lots of like little background Easter egg things, and I thought that was so cool because like once you find out stuff about that, like about a show, it makes the experience of watching it like something so different.
exactly. And I was just like, okay, that's cool. It kind of sucked because that was the episode that Marshall's dad died. So it just counted down to whenever Lily told him. And I was like, bah. And that shit was like fucking great. How I Met Your Mother is a great comedy, but that show's made me cry so many times.
Oh yeah.
You know, just like with people with friends and like things like that. Like everyone has I believe that everybody has their own fandom. Like
the
they
thing
just
I
do.
like about How I Met Your Mother as opposed to Friends is I think that they have like the similarities of just like it's a group of friends, same age, kind of like all figuring out life in their own little ways, and you know it'll show those stories. But I think that How I Met Your Mother kind of sets up more realistic expectations. Like I think all of us is even if as much as you like Friends, like if you look at how that's all set up, it's like situations that like people don't really ever find themselves in. Like you're not going to be in this fabulous apartment that you can afford by yourself, like with this like job that's never gonna like meet that, you know, and like
it didn't make any sense.
And I get that they're like fantastical elements to a show that like you don't really need to focus on or whatever, But it's just like I feel like I liked watching Friends when I was younger, right?
Mhm.
But when I watch it now as an adult, I'm like, that doesn't really just like ring true to what my adulthood feels
Yeah.
like. Yes, hijinks, yes, but like as far as like everything else, I'm like, ah. But when I watch How I Met Your Mother, like especially when I watched it in my early 20s, and as I go through all that, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like more applicable to how I mean, it's a newer
Yeah.
show, so it's like obviously designed to like have the newer aspects of life
Yes.
like a part of
Oh
it.
man, but it's so good. It's so fucking good. Another like comedy show that I thoroughly enjoyed. And this is like probably also another fandom. One was Parks and Recreation.
Oh yeah,
I've
absolutely.
watched that show. Hello, I speak some words here. I've seen it at least a dozen times. Like I'm rewatching it again. Like just in between, like whenever I'm just like bullshitting or whatever. Like
Mhm.
just having something playing in the background. I just think that it's so witty and it's so
It is a
funny
very witty show.
and it's so smart in its own way. And then everybody just gives me a whole bunch of shit because I can't watch The Office.
Yeah.
I've tried 4 times, and I shit you not, I recall each and every single time that I sat there and tried to watch it. But everybody's like, oh no, give it till the second season. I was like, I can't give anything till the second season if it sucks. Like,
Yeah. No, I mean, I get like why The Office has its fandom, but it just never clicked for me.
no,
Because both of those
exactly.
shows, Parks and Rec and The Office, like they were introduced to me around the same era of time. And I was like, I don't really know. Both of them I gave like tries to a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
and I've watched like a good amount of The Office. Like, I think about like to the point where most people watch, and then before like Steve Carell leaves and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I've watched all of Parks and Recreation, and like first off, Parks and Recreation actually took me to a point where I was like, okay, I'm hooked. I want to watch this. When I was watching The Office, it was almost like I'm just watching this almost as if research to try to understand like why everyone thinks it's funny. And like
Same. Fucking same.
I'll stay, yeah, because maybe like I get a few laughs, but it's like as opposed to like Parks and Rec, like I'm invested in these characters. I want to see where they go. Like I'm happy when they like have triumphs and stuff like that.
It's
And I
just
think that
good
makes a
stuff.
better show.
Oh yeah, it really does. And just like they've got like the silly fart humor in there, and they've got the smart humor in there, and they just like have it all compiled. And that show itself has made me cry a couple of times. It's so good. I don't know. Would you consider Saturday Night Live more comedy or like not reality, but I mean it's sketch comedy,
Yeah,
and I love
mean,
that.
I definitely would call it comedy. I do love that show though. Like I think that the comedians they have on there the last like 2 or 3, maybe 4 years have been a really strong cast. And I think that like especially with like I guess ever since like the whole Trump thing happened, like
Yeah.
the way that they kind of tackle all of that, like
Oh god,
is
and I
really
think
funny.
I would rather see Alec Baldwin.
Oh yeah.
Much rather see Alec Baldwin than actual Trump. I'm like, can we just hire him for these like press conferences? Like,
I love Kate McKinnon's like version
oh
of
my
certain
god,
politicians like
she's done Elizabeth Warner.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Elizabeth Warren, and
Warren. Sorry,
she did oh, what is his name? Jeff Sessions, that guy.
yes.
And she like acted like a possum or something, and just she does all kind. Oh, she did Rudy Giuliani too.
Oh no!
And it was so funny. She picks up on all those really tiny like behaviorisms that people do, and she'll put that into
she's
it.
hilarious. I think
really
she's
is.
fantastic. I think she's a great actress. She's funny as fuck. And she can literally do anything. Like the world is literally at her fingertips. She can literally do anything. She has
that like Tina Fey.
Oh
kind
yeah,
of vibe to
definitely.
her, where you're like, okay, I know she's definitely gonna like go places after
Oh,
this.
for sure. And of course, like SNL produced like one of the biggest moments in my life, which is Wayne's World, and I'm gonna get.
I thought you were gonna be like the biggest moment of my life. Ashley Simpson lip sync.
Yeah, okay, that's a close second. So.
Pretty iconic.
Me and Julia had like this big discussion yesterday or whatever. It was yesterday, right?
It was.
Yeah. So we had this discussion about because we listened to whatever the fuck I have playing on my damn phone, and Ashley Simpson came on, and we were just getting to this whole conversation. I was like, you know what, I really do miss her dancing on SNL, and Julia was like, I get it, like
She hoedowned out of there.
she
dude.
down out of there. She was like, oh man, she didn't know what else to do, so I'm gonna be like, same. If some shit like that happened to me, that's the best thing I can do and will do.
It's the perfect escape. Perfect escape.
It truly is. It truly is. And that was another one of my comedy shows. I have a lot. I watch a lot of real funny things, I guess. Arrested Development.
Oh yes, I love that
So
show.
good.
I
So
love
good.
Jason Bateman. He's a really, really good actor.
He is so diverse. Just
Yes.
like
Yes.
he's done everything that I could like possibly think of. He's like really good as a like he's so good at like a Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
And then he like blows your mind home whenever you're watching Dodgeball. And he's being like a douchey like
Yes,
dude.
that's exactly
And
what I
it's
was
like
thinking about.
I love it. He won best actor or something in a movie in a TV series for Ozark. He didn't know he was gonna win that shit. He looks so surprised. He goes, "Oh fuck!" And he audibly says, like, he doesn't say it audibly, but like with his mouth, you could see he's like, "Oh fuck!" Like he didn't believe it. Like he was just completely in awe, and that was like literally one of the purest moments that I'll ever see in Hollywood.
That show is so good. The Ozarks one. I
Mhm.
just recently watched it when the quarantine started, and it like
I just
really captivating.
Oh yeah, my dad loves it. I think my dad likes it more than me. Sometimes I'll get bored with an episode or whatever, but Ruth's my bitch.
Yes,
So-
dude, I love Ruth. She's a down ass
She
bitch.
really is a down ass bitch. I was like, her name should be Ruthless because that's literally.
Dude, you know what's funny? When I first started watching that show, what is his name? Is his name Russ or something? Like the uncle or whatever?
Yes, yes,
Her
yes, yes.
like dad or brother. I
Her-
don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so I was like, dude, that guy looks super, super fucking familiar, and it was bugging me like all of the first season. So finally, I googled it, and he is, he plays a role in one of the sketches on like I think the first episode of Inside Amy Schumer, and she's like, it's the one where like they had like hooked up the night before, and then it's like a guy's perspective of the whole day after and her perspective of the whole day after, and she's all like on cloud nine, like super
Oh my
happy, telling all her
God.
friends like, oh yes, it's all great, and he's just like on his couch like playing video games, jerking it, just like being a dude, but it's him, and he's like less
That is
gruff.
so funny.
I was like, I found you.
I found ya. Found ya. And like I said, like I didn't really care too much for The Office or New Girl.
I've never watched the show, but I do not like Zoe Deschanel.
I know. I that's been very audible throughout our friendship that Julia does not like Zoe Deschanel, and I give it props to a certain extent. I just think that I don't like Zoe Deschanel as her. I think they should have gotten somebody like a little bit more nerdier and a little more quirkier.
See, that's the thing about Zoe Deschanel is when she hit her like height, that was like what they like marketed her as, and I was like, she's not that quirky nor nerdy, like not at all. Like you maybe
And
slap
she's
some
got a
glasses
voice
on
like
someone.
this, and it's annoying.
Yeah,
Like I can't deal with that shit, dude. But no, I love the men in that show. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think I've ever honestly watched an
dude,
episode.
I like them a lot. Like the guy who played, oh god, what's his name? Jake. I don't know. I think that's his name. Something. Not the guy who played Schmidt. The guy who played Schmidt's hilarious, but God, I forgot his name. But anyway, he's in this show called Stumptown with fucking Sherbatsky.
Oh,
Yeah, Sherbatsky is like this bisexual fucking private investigator, and she's just like a boss ass.
Oh,
And
yeah.
at first, I was like, nah, she's not gonna be anybody but Sherbatsky for me because I watched that show on Netflix called Friends from College, which they fucking canceled. And Netflix, I'm so mad about that. And Sabrina, so we'll talk later. But anyway, so whenever she did that show Friends from College, she was totally Sherbatsky still in that. Like I was like, okay, you're gonna have to try to convince me that you're somebody else other than what I've known you for like a good chunk of my
That's
life.
even how I feel anytime that she's waltzed into a Marvel movie. I'm
Yeah.
like, bitch, what are you doing? You suited up for the
You're
wrong
wrong thing.
thing.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my god. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then, but no, dude, in Stumptown, she just plays like this badass person, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm with it. It's a really good show. My dad was the one who got. My dad's probably the TV guy. Like he literally is that guy. He loves anything like he. It has to be like action packed, and it has to have a good storyline. And he's like with the shits,
Oh, word. Yeah.
totally with the shits.
I love a good storyline.
Me too. Okay, all right. So, um, we have a couple of more categories to go. I mean, it's nothing major, but of course, like the drama TV shows that I didn't realize that I liked a lot of drama shows, but I mean, I live for it because it's just like, ooh, game changer. Ooh, something's gonna happen. Ooh, go ahead and hit next.
Yeah,
You know?
there's scandal and drama.
Yes, I love it. Like me with Grey's Anatomy, like that's also another fandom. I think I'm just like solely just found my way into different fandoms. Like that's like my lot in life. I fucking love Grey's Anatomy. Like everything and the Facebook groups that you see pop up are the best. Like I just like follow them and I see
I
these
love Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook groups for like shit that I like. It's like a very specific little thing. I'm like, yes, it's people I can nerd out with.
Exactly, and not feel like a freaking turd.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, I had to invite my sister-in-law on to the Grey's Anatomy one that I'm on.
Nice.
And she told me that this one post that I did tag her in, she was like, I'm mildly offended because it was said, like on TikTok where there is somebody come get her. She's dancing like a stripper. Yeah. And then they had this one where Meredith was drowning and it said, somebody come get her. She can't swim in the river. Or she's drowning in the river or some shit like that. And then she was like, not cool. Like
too real.
I was like, look, I mixed both of your things that you love so much, which is TikTok and Grey's Anatomy together. Like,
I don't be happy.
Exactly. I don't get a fucking thank you. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Just like that. And God, what other like drama TV shows? I guess like you could go into like my whole initiation of like me being who I am today with Law and Order.
Oh yeah, Law and Order, especially SVU.
Oh God, SVU is great, and just like following their storylines. Like, of course, I love the fact that their storyline is so small compared to the crimes and like things that they're investigating.
Yeah, it's not trying to overhype that or anything like that.
Yeah.
I also do like that show keeps up with the times, and they like talk about things that are really important. I think long before a lot of like other facets address it too.
Yeah.
It's like things that are, it's the ugly side of life that they like obviously have to dive into each week or whatever. But they're like, hey, like let's not forget it's fucked up.
Yeah.
I love how pretty much everyone who works on that show, like, sort of takes on this role of advocating for all that shit, which is
for sure. No,
amazing.
it's great, and it's the longest running TV show to date, and that's fucking amazing. I love it. It's just, it's so good, so good. But I like Law and Order is gonna go on way before way long after I die. Like I just feel that. And like with Criminal Minds, like I know Criminal Minds has their last season coming up, but like all of that trickles into shows that I like now today, like NCIS and like NCIS LA, CSI, like all of that good stuff. I just like that whole
all those
premise.
Crime shows are really good.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. There was this one called The Glades. And that one, do you remember The Glades? The Glades.
I never really got like super into it, but I remember watching a couple of.
My dad loved The Glades, and he was so mad that it got canceled. And my dad's one of those people that he takes it to heart if it gets canceled, So I was like, damn it, man. And let's see what like some of like the Netflix shows are just they are kicking so much ass though.
Dude, I watched this show last night, and it's only got one season, but it's I don't know where it comes from. I watched it on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's one of those ones that's like only specific to there or whatever. But it's the show called Upload or something.
Mm.
And it's like if Black Mirror and that show The Good Place like just jumped into one, or it kind of reminds me of that Black Mirror episode where they're like they have like that digital heaven thing that they go to and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's basically like a premise of like where you like instead of dying you upload into some like
Mhm.
afterworld thing.
Yeah.
But the show is like, I mean, it's not one of those shows that I would call a comedy, but it does have funny moments, you know?
Oh yeah.
But it does have like your aspects of drama, and it, you know, even I guess like how Black Mirror has that touch of sci-fi to it too,
I
and
love that.
futuristic. It's a really really good show. Like we went through the first 7 episodes like that. Like I was hooked into it. It was yeah, I think there's like 3 more episodes, and apparently they're gonna get a second season.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
But it's cool because it's like when you go into it and you're like, oh, okay, this is kind of gonna be like Black Mirror, like that cool thing. But then it kind of unfolds more to like there's other aspects, like of course there's like
Yeah.
romance and like, but then there's mystery, and then of course like all the humor that is in it. It kind of has a little of everything. Like
I love
I
that.
really
I need
dig
to check it out. That sounds really good.
Yeah, I highly suggest
Fuck
it.
yeah. Fuck yeah. And like, um, let's see what other Netflix shows that I just absolutely love. Oh, You.
Oh yeah, that
You
show's
with
great.
Joe, and I've been in love with him since Gossip Girl. Okay, and he's just fine. Like,
You know, it's funny because like I know that that guy was like in shows like I guess Gossip Girl or whatever, but I never really
Mhm.
watched that. So to me, he's just the brother from John Tucker Must Die.
Oh my god. Yes. So tell me why, and that because he had his hair long and curly, he
Mhm.
looked like a mix of John Mayer and Tyson Ritter.
Yeah, no, that's exactly
Yeah, that's
who he
exactly,
looks
yeah,
like.
exactly. And I'm just like, hi, like, I want to get to know ya. Like, good, yeah. And he just like gave me like those like high school, like schoolgirl vibes, even though he tried really hard not to be. But, you know, it
Mhm.
was just one of those things. And this last season of You was really good. It was a game changer for sure. But then to me, it kind of got a little cheesy at the end,
Yeah.
I would say. I was just like, okay, cool, game changer, but what are you gonna do now? Your bitch is pregnant. Like,
Yeah.
spoiler alert. Like,
Yeah, I'm very curious to how they're gonna do that, cause that like, I mean, I guess it's like sort of like the issues that he dealt with before as far as like being exposed to a certain extent,
mhm,
except instead of running away he like has to stay right there and deal with it, so that'll be
mhm.
kind of interesting. But I don't know, I mean, don't get me wrong, that girl who plays his love interest or whatever that's like equally as fucking crazy,
Her name's Love.
I love her.
You love Love.
She's also on the Haunting of Hill House or some
Oh, which
shit
is
like
such a
that.
great. Oh my god, I watched all of that in one sitting.
It's so good. I think she's a really good actress. She can really kind of like get into these weird headspaces
Mhm.
that I appreciate. So I hope that like in this next season that they'll like really
Oh
go
yeah,
lean
and
into
like
that.
Haunting of Hill House. One of the girls, the one who owns the funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
She is this crazy bitch in Grey's Anatomy for a while, and I'm
Oh
like,
really?
oh, well, that's cool. That's okay. I know you. I know you now. But yeah, it was yeah, just seeing that and like Dead to Me. Dead to Me is such a good one too. I don't know
I
if you check.
haven't watched that, but I've heard nothing but good things
Oh
about
man,
it.
it's so
It's
so
got Linda
good.
Cardellini and
Linda Cardellini and Christina
yeah,
Applegate,
that's
and
like a great cast.
it really is. And I was just like, okay, Christina Applegate, let's see what you got, girlfriend. Like, I know she's been harboring some and manifesting some good vibes and like good acting and stuff like that. So I think that this role for her was just like so seemingly perfect.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch
Oh
that.
man, it's too, yeah, that one definitely gets too enthusiastic thumbs up. Like, it's so good. I hadn't watched the newest season, so I think I'm gonna embark on that on Sunday maybe and see how that goes. But were there any shows? Well, I know I talked about Grey's Anatomy, and I just need to say like two more things about that. And Ellen Pompeo, she is the one who plays Dr. Meredith Grey. And she is just a boss ass bitch, and I love her. And she is just so resilient, and she's amazing. I just think that she should know that. And fuck Izzy Stevens. I fucking hate her. I can't really stand Katherine Heigl as an actress. I don't think that she's a great actress. I think her most fitting role that I've ever seen her do was actually two of them. There was this Disney Channel movie that she came out in. It was called When You Wish or something.
Yes,
Where
that's
her and
where
her
I know
sister,
her from.
yeah,
They like they have to
her and her
they
sister just
switch
they switch
bodies or
bodies.
something.
Yeah,
That's like one of the only good things, and everything after that was just kind of like you're trying too hard to be fucking what's her face from Scrubs, the other Becky.
the other Becky, and I can't stand her either.
Yeah, no, each of them are like they're the same person, the same energy, and just very unnecessary.
Yeah,
in
no.
Everything I
So
watch
there's
them
one
in.
thing I gotta say about the other. Her name is Sarah
Chalk.
Chalk. Yes, and she's ridiculous because that I wanted to start watching Scrubs because Zach Braff is my musical soulmate, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Because I eat Garden State, and so yeah, and he picked out all the music for Scrubs, all of it. He did, and I've watched a couple of episodes, and I'm like, oh shit, he got Dashboard on here. Wait,
Yeah,
like
it's really good music on there.
yes, and so I was like, I really want to watch it, but Sarah Chalk looked like she wants to cry every 2 minutes, and I hated her as Stella in How I Met Your Mother.
No, yeah, she in like almost every fucking thing that she ever is in, she's 10 seconds away from tears. It's always about something that she's just being super dramatic about. And she's always casted as this girl who's like obviously cute but doesn't get it, and she's like, "Oh my god, like my world is falling apart because so and so won't take me out to dinner and like this is the worst thing."
Yeah.
And then it's like everyone just focus like the whole story always just becomes focused on these kind of roles, and I'm like, okay, just like, could we have an episode, in fact, where we're just talking about Carla? Because Carla in Scrubs is a badass bitch, dude.
Yes.
Like, she's got that
She
shit
really is.
unlocked.
Yes.
She ain't whining and crying. She's like, keep your dead stuffed dog out of my house and fuck off with your shit.
Yes. No, I really want to start watching it, but she's just like, she's a very, like, I'm like, how dare you leave Ted at the altar, you dumb bitch. Like,
we don't forget. How dare you replace
exactly.
OG Becky?
Yeah, hello, Felipe. And she's just like, oh, like with her fucking thick ass, beautiful hair, and just like gets all mad and like, she fucking flourishes back and forth or whatever. So yeah, those were the things about oh well, and also that, but back to Grey's Anatomy, Izzy, fucking Katherine Heigl, um, she did another movie called 27 Dresses.
Oh yeah.
And I think that that was probably her most fitting role. After that, I didn't really care what she did. She came out in another. It was a funny movie called The Ugly Truth. That one was with Gerard Butler. Yes. Why was I thinking of Gerard Way? Well, when am I not thinking of Gerard Way? Like that. These are the real answers. But she did that, and then there was another. Oh, she was in this other show. She was casted horribly in this show because I don't even remember the name. I will definitely have to ask my dad because my dad was the one who showed me this show. And she played this like girl who was like, she had lost her husband in the CIA or whatever. They were both CIA agents or whatever. And she goes around and she's like this alcoholic like slut, and she just like sleeps with whatever guy and has no repercussions of. And I was like, that's not the role. Like, I think this role was supposed to be made for somebody edgier, and you're just so type A that it's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're so type A that there's no room in your Hollywood career for flexibility. And so, and it's even been, and she's a, yes. And not just that, but there have been people that say that they hate working with her because she is so demanding. And she's a bitch. So essentially, I was like, yeah, let's just stick to that role. Don't try to be cool. Like, I don't think it's in your repertoire to be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people played such roles for such a long time that if they were to play anything else, like...
Wasn't she in that movie Knocked Up?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, even in that movie...
She's type A.
You can tell because I think it even kind of reads in how they, like, make the story go is, like... I mean, obviously, she's, like, of a different world than the Seth Rogen character, and so that's, like, obviously what creates the issue, but it's like you can tell with them working together that you're like, oh, okay, she's just like that girl.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
in the same instance, though, you can think of like Zach and Mary make porno or whatever, and was it Elizabeth Banks who was like,
I love her.
yeah, like she's a real like pretty classy, like could probably get whatever the fuck she wants, but
Yeah,
she has
hello,
a
Hunger
sense of
Games. Like,
realness to her, and just like she can take a moment to just laugh and relax and not be so fucking uptight.
yes.
But
I
that's
love
just
that about
reading
her.
a room.
Yeah. No, absolutely. 1010%. I ship that. Absolutely. Were there any certain shows that you'd watch that the endings sucked?
Mm. I'm still just thinking about the hills from earlier, man.
No, that
sucks.
one did. That one was terrible. Definitely one of mine was Dexter.
Oh.
Dexter, fuck me up, dude. It was like I was so mad and everything. I was so enraged that I got on Tumblr, wrote the biggest blog known to mankind. My fingers still hurt, but I still proceeded to email Showtime. I just like copy and pasted because I think that's all I was able to do. So I was very angry. I was like, how the fuck? And if you guys have not watched Dexter, and this show is, well, and I would say it's about what, at least 8 years old at this point from the last episode. And if you haven't watched it, I'm about to ruin it for you. So, motherfucker becomes a fucking lumberjack at the end of the motherfucking day. And it's just like, literally, you went back to save your fucking bitch ass sister. First of all, fuck Deb. Deb was the fucking worst, dude. She was just like, ugh, like, I don't even believe it. Ugh. Like, she just had that fucking face on her. And I'm just like, Deb, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, for 2 seconds, let your brother fucking be the vigilante. Like, Jesus Christ. He's killing these people for the sake of you to make your job fucking easier. And he knows what the fuck he's doing, so fuck off. Like, fuck her, dude. Anyways,
real heat. Real animosity there.
Yeah, seriously. And so Dexter was just so beautifully put together, and I just love what was it, what was his name? Michael C. Hall?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And that dude beat cancer, dude, and it was just like he even dated Deb for a while, or they were married at one point. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but I guess like you guys have that chemistry or whatever. So I was like, that's cool, whatever. You just do what you do, you know. So that was one of the endings that I couldn't live with. The Sopranos. Any of my Sopranos fans, you guys will rewatch it, and I know you will. And it sucks every single time because they're all in the fucking restaurant and people are getting ready to pull up in their Glocks, and then it cuts to a black screen, and that's all you get.
That's so rude.
That is all you get. So basically, oh, hold on, real quick. Back to Dexter. So let me tell you why. Let me tell you some fucked up shit that I ended up finding out like after the fact, like later on. So it turned out that Showtime, okay, because Dexter was a graphic novel before it was actually Dexter. Yeah. So I didn't read all of the graphic novel. I probably read like some part of it. Like it had been so long, I honestly couldn't remember or tell you where I stopped and where I started. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Cinemax, fucking Showtime went in and told the writers of Dexter cannot die. They literally told the fucking writers that Dexter could not die. And I was like, literally, that was the only, since season 3? No. Season 3? Was it season 3? Season 3 or season 4? I don't remember. I think it was La Muerte. No, it wasn't. Anyway, some fucking killer or whatever was on the loose at that point, and I think it was there whenever me and Joey were talking about the ending of Dexter, like how that's gonna go down. And Joey, like, we looked at it at every single fucking possibility. They're like, no, the only way it's gonna end is with Dexter dying.
Mm-hmm.
And like that was it. But no, fucking Showtime. They put their 2 cents in and they're like, no, he cannot die. I was like, wow, that was fucking lame. And The Sopranos, their writer came up and said the ending is they're like, well, did Tony die? Did the family die? Like, what happened? Like, you know, they just were all sitting there at dinner and then it just cut to black. And it was fucked up. It was fucked up. I had to rewatch that 3 times because I didn't believe that that's what happened. I believed that I missed something and
Yeah,
that
that
my
would like give
DVR
something away. Yeah.
and that my DVR skipped or something. So I just like had to go back and rewatch it, and it was just like, no, that's not what it was. And so apparently the writer just kind of chalked it up to be like, oh, the ending is whatever you want.
See,
I can't.
I hate when
I
writers
can't.
do
It's
that
not
because it's
definite.
lazy.
It's lazy and it's indefinite, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're gonna sit there with your fucking $500 million check or
Yeah.
some shit like that. You know what I mean?
And it's just like, oh, it's open to creative interpretation, and it's like, no, you just couldn't like wrap up your fucking story. 'Cause
Yeah.
you probably didn't want to, but I think that's such an injustice to the viewers to be like, oh, I have to come up with like a whole ass like thing because
Mhm.
anybody who like, you know, is going to be discussing the television and after, especially after it's ended. So therefore, like, all you're really gonna have is just like your legacy of what you've done out there.
Mhm.
It's like if all you're gonna put at the end of the day is just this open ended kind of like the story never really like comes to a close. That's just like almost feels like a waste of time. Like you've been robbed of something that's like this.
That's how I felt at the end of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
I was completely robbed. Even though I cried like a baby. I cry like a baby every single time I watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't that still doesn't take away from the fact that I think everyone was cheated.
Yeah, it was like you spent so many years kind of just like visualizing how this story is gonna come to its head, and then all of a sudden like you're in that season and you're like, wait, this is what we're doing, this is
Yeah.
what's happened, like, oh, and now we're just gonna act like this is totally okay.
Oh yeah.
Especially with all this stuff with Robin where it's like,
Fuck Robin.
man,
I've come to that conclusion every single time. Fuck Robin. Because I think I only felt for her was whenever she couldn't have kids, but she didn't want kids. So it's like, I get where you're coming from. Just like as a woman, like it's always nice to have that option there. But fuck you. Because you played with Ted, you played with Barney. Like,
yeah, she was all over the place.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, like, I like her character, but like as far as like how they like
her character, I
other.
felt her character a good chunk of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the way that she did certain things in the show and why things were the way that they were. And I was like, how are you going to be a bitter bitch whenever Ted is with his wife? And you're like, that's the guy I should have married. Like,
yeah.
fuck you, bitch. Like, nah, fuck you, Robin Scherbatsky. I say this all while I'm chugging the last of my beer, so you know it's real. So, yeah, let me open up this next beer. Game of Thrones. I know you weren't big into Game of Thrones, like, nah. I was though. I was like, I went out and I bought me a shirt and everything. I was like, I have pajama pants that have Game of Thrones on there. I am, again, another fandom.
No, but I understand it. Like, I watched a good chunk of or I think I watched the first season and part of the second. And like, I was like, okay, word, like, I get how people liked it. It just wasn't for me. But I do like the like almost pseudo like historical when you go into like periods.
Yeah.
Because I watch a lot of like shows like Vikings or that Black Sails one that's about pirates, and I like being taken to like a time and kind of like when they have like little nods to just like, oh, like the tools they used to use or just like how people talked back then or like how people dressed or how everything was built, like went about and stuff. Like I like kind of having that insight if it's factual.
Yeah.
But that show was just so. It was something about it was just too much for me.
It was just like, well, all the incestuous shit that was
that's
going
exactly
on.
What it is.
Yeah, it was that and all the sex, and I was like, all right, cool, but whatever. But it shouldn't have gone. And if you guys have not watched the ending of Game of Thrones, exit now and watch. Because there's gonna be a lot of spoilers here. I could literally do a whole podcast on Game of Thrones. Like, I'm like #Thrones, y'all. Like, that's my shit. And so what really fucked me up this last season, other than the fact that these fucking episodes were probably an hour and a half tops, whenever we was told that we were gonna have actual fucking full-length movies to this shit season prior to that. So fuck them. I was pissed off. Like, these fuckers got all the fucking money and they robbed me. They robbed me hard. And so we're like rewatching episodes and stuff like that. And because Joe, my brothers watched it since the get-go. I got into Game of Thrones maybe like the third season. Joey had been there since the get-go. He's read all the books about it, and he's like, he was fully invested. So he'd probably be the better candidate out of him and I. So, but anyway, I was pissed off. The ending, the only thing that made me happy about that ending was the fact that my homegirl Salsa, and that's what I call her. Like, her name's not Sansa. Like, that's a foreign name to me. So I was like, hmm, hmm. And yeah, so her name's Salsa. She's the one who married Joe from Jonas Brothers.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Freaking Sophie Turner, I think that's her name.
Mhm.
Man, I didn't have any fucking faith in her because that bitch and fucking Joffrey, even though the red wedding was epic, yeah, I didn't have faith in her because I felt like she would always betray the family at the end of the day. But I think as time went on and all the shit that she went through, she had the biggest, like, along with her and Arya, had the biggest character development, which was great. And she really proved herself, and she was the fucking queen of the fucking North with nobody by her side. Like, she was just so fixated on the whole princess concept and things like that, and she was just like, oh, I don't think I'd be able to rule if I didn't have my king, and she was all devout and all this other shit. And then at the end, she's still fucking queen of the motherfucking North with nobody by her side. I was like, you go, Salsa, you go, Gab. And fucking Arya, man, that's my bitch right there, man. She fucking slays with the fucking knife. She killed fucking the White Walkers, and she killed the fucking what's his name? Oh god. Yeah, whatever his name is. So yeah.
Home dude.
Yeah, home dude. I can't think of it because all my words are jumbled because I'm just like, fuck yeah, I get to geek out some more here on my
She's
show.
jazzed up.
I'm like all jazzed up and shit. So yeah, so she was able to kill him, and I honestly thought that she was gonna fucking kill Cersei, and she didn't. Nah, because you know what? Hollywood was just like, you know what? Fuck you and your dreams of her fucking collecting Jaime's face and Jaime being the one that had to kill Cersei. Because we've had conspiracy theories, dude, since season 5, and we were just like, this is how it's gonna go down, but it did not go down like that. So me and Joey thought that the only way that Cersei would be killed was that Jaime would have to, which is her brother, who her brother was in love with her. It was the thing. She was pregnant. It was his, and yeah, Jeffrey was the bastard, like his bastard. It was crazy, crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's why he was all fucked up, and he deserved to die. And so yeah, and the ending to that was just so shitty. Jon Snow did not get what he needed to because he was originally the heir to the throne, and freaking, oh my god, what's her name? Mother of Dragons was like,
Oh, Daenerys?
yeah,
Is that her name?
what was it?
Daenerys?
Daenerys, yeah. Yeah. I keep saying Dracarys is because one time we got drunk and we were playing Risk, and I just kept saying Dracarys after we take a shot. Or like right before we take this shot, I'd be like, Dracarys! And yeah. Anyway. So
Silly.
we get nerdy around here, y'all. And so yeah, she fought so fucking hard for that throne. And then I was like, really, bitch, you gonna get killed by your fucking uncle, yeah, you're gonna be killed by him, and y'all just had sex, and y'all are fucking silly. Like, I don't even know what to make of this, but I was like, okay, cool, because I'd rather her have died by the hands of Jon Snow, but it was so stupid. I was like, bitch, you worked for everything, and just, and what's the thing that pisses me off is the fact that Jon Snow was supposed to get the motherfucking throne. But no, he's like, no, I'm just gonna go off and be the Night Watch again, like I've been doing my whole fucking life because I'm a bastard. And I'm just like, bitch, yes, we're aware of that. Why? And Arya's over here gonna go discover fucking new land. Like, fuck you, Christopher Columbus. Like, you know, she was gonna go live her best life as a female and whatever. But I did like that episode when she lost her virginity and everybody had that little sister complex to her. They're like, oh no.
Oh no.
The baby. Please save the baby. Like, no, she didn't need that, but she was just like, sex was cool. Like, I'm ready to fucking embark on this new journey with, like, my ships and shit.
Now I got that out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, endings was bad. Guys, if you guys want more of me going off on Game of Thrones, just let me know, and I totally will talk to you, because that was epic. I think, like, one show that I was actually completely satisfied with the ending was 6 Feet Under.
I don't remember the ending for that.
You don't? So that's whenever that song by Sia is playing, and that's when everybody first heard of Sia, and it's called that song Breathe Me. And they're going through this whole sequence of all of them dying. Like when they're old and gray and what happens to them and all that stuff. That's when Claire's about to leave.
No, I don't think I even actually ever saw it now that I think about it.
Oh shit, yeah, dude. Claire's leaving and her brother who just died, he died of the aneurysm.
Yeah, because I remember when I was watching
Nate.
that show.
That's when Nate died.
I don't think it had finished at the time. And so I had like caught up to a certain point, and then I think they still needed to release some stuff, and I just never probably watched the last season.
I wonder if we could stream it. Well, I would love for you to I would want to
have it on somewhere, I'm sure.
And then, like, when I started rewatching it, the first episode makes me laugh so hard because fucking Claire does crack or whatever. She smokes crack and her dad just died. And she's, like, chewing gum, like, super hard at, an alarming rate. And she's like, I smoked crack. I'm like, this dumb bitch. I was like, oh my God, she's crazy. But no, it goes through, like, this whole scene. It was the most... Oh man, me and Joey both ugly cried so hard that night when it came on. It was so good. Michael C. Hall, who also played Dexter, he was on that show prior. Fucking Federico.
Hell yeah.
What a zaddy. I love him. And Jeremy, oh God, what's his name? Sisto. Don't ask how. It's the power of the beer. I would never have remembered that sober. He was the one who played Elton in Clueless. Oh, so of course I remember that drunk. That's stupid. But yeah, he was also in 6 Feet Under as well. God, I forgot who Nate was played by. I don't think it was Nathan Fillion. It was somebody who looks like Nathan Fillion. But yeah, that was such a great fucking ending because like she takes a picture of the family and then Nate, and it's cool. I like it because it's like they show like the dead people who are still around the people who are living, and he's like, and they had said something about capturing the moment or whatever. He's like, why capture the moment? You know, it's already gone. Like, he starts telling her, like, a whole bunch of fucked up shit. So she's, like, driving to go pursue her career in photography or whatever. And it just, like, goes down the line as to, like, the people who are, like, her whole family and how they die and things like that. Like, it's crazy. It's so good, though. So good.
That sounds really beautiful.
It really was. It really fucking was. I was like, that's how you do a fucking ending. So anything that was like any less that wasn't up to par at that point, like I'm like fucking trash. Like,
get out of here with this lame ass shit.
Get out of here with that shit. But yeah, a lot of people were very upset with like certain endings with shows. I think that's something that we can definitely all agree with. All right. So animation. This world will not go round without any animation, I feel. It's a huge staple.
It really.
So good. So good stuff. Just like animation in general, like us growing up and us getting up early for Saturday morning cartoons.
Hell yeah. Freakazoid.
Hell yeah. Freakazoid was my brother's shit, dude. He would watch Freakazoid like nobody's business. And Frank, that was Frank's jam right there. Along with the Batman.
Oh yeah. I like that it's like the early 90s run of Batman. They did the Warner Brothers. It was really good.
Yes, so good. What was the name of that other? Was it Batman Returns or something like that, where he was in the red and the black one? Yeah, that one. Batman Beyond. That was also Frank shit right there. And like, Cartoon Network played such a volatile role along with like Nickelodeon. Disney, they were more of like the live action, yeah, except for Kim Possible. Recess was great.
And
Proud Family. Really yes. Oh man, they were so great. ABC 13 had their also Saturday morning cartoons. Pepper Ann.
Yeah, I
played a huge staple in my life. She was just so raspy and like fucking, you know, whatever.
She was down, bitch.
She was. And ABC Family had their good ones too after they'd play all their music videos when they had the top 10 countdown or whatever. Angela Anaconda was my shit. That show was crazy and like so underratedly raunchy in a way. It was just...
It was kind of For its
Lynette
time.
Man War. Like,
Something about that girl's face just freckled and
remember his name? The dude's name was Johnny Obadi.
oh jeez.
Oh man, it was that was some good ass shit. I really want to watch that.
Yeah, that's a quality.
Yeah,
show.
that's some
They
quality.
need to stream that.
They really do. I'm like, I was upset when I got Disney Plus and they started adding on this, and that, whatever. Like, okay, you guys have Recess. My car is named after Spinelli. Our car's name is Spinelli. So, yeah, I'm totes for it. Like, why the fuck do you guys not have Pepper Ann? Pepper Ann was a Disney. And my brother's like, no, it was Nickel. Like, we had this argument, and I was like, no, it's an ABC Disney thing. I remember that coming on. And the same thing, like, Doug.
Oh, I love Doug.
Doug was great. So great. Dear Journal. Like, oh my god. And then, like, remember his sister Judy?
Yeah.
She was everything I ever wanted to be.
Fucking...
She already had the shaved sides.
I think it's this like bully or something.
Roger.
But the guy's green.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah, that guy is a whole ass mood.
He really is, man. I say Roger because that is how he'd say it. Hey, yo, funny. Like,
I wish they had. Well, I know you can get the app for it, but like the Boomerang app.
Oh man,
that channel was so good. That was my jam when I was a kid. I loved watching Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Oh yeah,
obviously Scooby Doo, but like
that's a given.
they had like the Jetsons and Flintstones and Jabberjaw and like Bee Buggy and the Josie and the Pussycat thing.
Yes,
it was just all so good. But when I did download that app, I don't think I'd ever seen it when I was a kid. But it was a show that was basically Scooby-Doo, and I think it came out either right before or right after.
Was it Hung Kong Pooey?
No, it is literally a dog and 4 teenagers solving mysteries, but it's a different dog and it's different.
Do you remember the name of it?
No. I'd have to. It's on their app, so it's like it's findable, but it's like I don't think it goes past the season, and it's
Scooby was good.
It doesn't have the Scooby-ness to it.
Yes.
Like they really work. And I'm led to believe that it was done before Scooby-Doo because I remember thinking like, oh, they obviously worked out all the kinks for Scooby-Doo.
Right.
Because it was missing elements that like make that show so fantastic.
And
like,
it still stands the test of time.
Yeah, because I think in the first 3 seasons of like the original Scooby-Doo, that was like where they were like popping in music stuff from like the Monkees and like
fuck yeah,
like that. And so it made like all those chase scenes really fun and just like there's all those songs are songs that like even if they were made in the 60s, like they still so hard.
They really do. They're a whole ass bop. Like I agree. Remember A Pup Named Scooby Doo though?
Oh yeah, I have that on all of it on DVD, man. That was I think the version of Scooby Doo that was like more of a on playing on television in the morning, like before I went to school kind of thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna get my Scooby fix. Oh, dude, there was this show that used to. I don't know where it came on, and it is really hard to find. Or at least it was for years. But then I think like I kind of found it sometimes on YouTube or like torrent sites. But they do have comics for it, obviously Archie. But they have a series that's Archie's Weird Mysteries, and they had a TV show for it, which it felt just like Scooby Doo. Like
really,
you get the whole like cartoon teenagers like of like that 60s sort of era thing. Cause like I mean this is like a 90s made Archie's thing, so it's not like Riverdale or anything like that.
For sure.
But they like all the aspects of like all the monsters that they fight is so outside of normal.
Yeah,
Archie
I agree.
Arcs.
Yes, no. I love that aspect. The same thing. It was one night and I wanted to watch cartoons before I went to bed. Don't know why. So I put it on Boomerang that had nothing but Looney Tunes on there.
Oh, word.
It was way beyond its time. Way beyond its time because I'm still sitting here and I'm laughing my ass off. And I'm like, I laughed my ass off like this as a kid, and that now that I'm 28 years old, and it's still that fucking funny to me. And that's what's gonna like kind of kill me and like, future generations is the fact that this stuff has a lot of old jokes on
Yeah.
there that you won't necessarily get unless you've grown up around somebody who is like from the old school.
Yeah, there's definitely a shift that happened in the world, like in the early 2000s, that like the way of life, not like
Well, no, I
socially,
think
but just
I
like
I
how it
honestly
goes.
think that shift started in the 90s. Like I don't particularly like at that time I've grown accustomed to certain cartoons and certain animations. Of course, the things that I'm gonna name, you're gonna be like, oh, well, you're contradicting yourself. You're a hypocrite. It's just that at that time in the '90s, I even felt that it was inappropriate. And for me to feel that way, well, me now, I don't give a fuck. But like me at that time, like I kind of grew up in a conservative, if you want to say that, if you
Hmm.
want to put a label on it, whatever. Like I wasn't a big fan of Ren and Stimpy.
I never really watched that show, but like for no particular reason. But I do know exactly what you mean though, because I feel like for someone probably like not a generation, but probably like 5 years older than me, would have probably felt that way about like how I felt when like Adventure Time and like Chowder and all those were coming out,
I didn't
because
like it.
it was right after my like, cartoon youth thing, and then this was like the new wave of
Yeah,
cartoon.
because I think it kind of ended after The Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Yeah, and like I know a lot of people of my age bracket like really love Adventure Time, and they'll tell me up and down like
Invader Zim,
how
I didn't get into it either.
it wouldn't it just crossed into this whole thing of being just entirely too like weird, but not weird with a purpose, and then just being like absolutely every single like thing is just gonna like just to point out how freaking bizarre it is. And I mean that more so in like I guess like I don't think it's Chowder, it's that Flapjack show. Flapjack show
Oh,
is creepy, like,
yeah.
and I'm just like, it seems like it's just entirely
And I
designed way
couldn't get
for
into a
adults.
lot of, and I thought it was kind of weird because in high school, a lot of people really loved that show, Foster's Home of Imaginary, and I
Yeah.
couldn't. I was like, it's too weird for me. Like, at that time, I'm into all the weird shit now, guys. Like, don't get me fucking wrong. It's just like, if you were to ask me if I wanted to choose to watch that over like sex robots or whatever that they have on Netflix,
Mm.
I would choose the latter and like not even go there because I think it's just so weird for me. Like I didn't like Ed, Edd n Eddy.
What?
Yeah, I know. Frank
Why?
loved Ed, Edd n Eddy. Yeah, I just didn't. I thought it was just too much for me. I was like, I didn't want to go there. Like I didn't. I still don't like Peppa Pig. Thanks, AJ.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I'm
mean, I
glad
had
you
no
didn't have to
reason to
like.
watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
But there are like, I think there's just a handful of like those baby kid shows that I've had to watch. Like a babysat a kid, and it's like if a child becomes obsessed with a show, it's pretty much just gonna become unnervingly like
Yeah.
horrible in my mind.
Yes, exactly.
So I feel about
Exactly.
Paw Patrol. I can't with that anymore.
We just recently unveiled a PJ Mask into our lives a couple of years ago, so we're living that PJ Mask life, and yeah, my nephew, he loves it. He's also getting into Power Rangers, the newer one as opposed to the older one, but I can get it to a certain degree. I was like, okay, cool, we're on the right path, but not quite there yet, so you'll be educated accordingly. Like, I think in the 90s, I think like I didn't like the Angry Beavers. I didn't like
Oh, I never watched that.
yeah, or
I
Cat
think
Dog.
well, no, I watch Cat Dog, and I watch like that I Am Weasel or
Mm.
whatever. That one was weird. It like or a Cow and Chicken. They both had that red guy.
Oh yeah, Cow and couldn't do Cow. Powerpuff Girls. I love them. I loved anime, like that kind of anime. If that makes any sense.
Mm,
I mean,
eh,
like whenever Cartoon Network did the animes in the afternoon, what was it called?
not too.
Tsunami.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So Sailor Moon. I just started rewatching Sailor Moon, but I started watching it sub instead of dub.
Oh yeah.
So that's a whole nother trip within itself.
Hmm.
Um, and I liked Cowboy Bebop is still one of my faves. Like, I will watch Cowboy Bebop. I genuinely like it. Dragon Ball I liked a lot. If I'm gonna go into like my nerdy like anime side, which I'm trying my best to get a little bit more into anime just so I can have a broad view as to like just me as a person. I was like, let me try it out. If I don't like it, I'm not in a committed relationship with it. I don't have to like like go through with it or whatever. But like one of my like nerdy ones that I liked, like anime wise, was a Dot Hack Sign. A
Mm.
lot of people didn't watch it, but I loved it because I played the game.
Oh, word.
You know, and so that shit was like my shit. And Zoids we watched a lot. Freak Inuyasha we watched. Um,
It's really
oh,
good.
Inuyasha's fucking great. Fuck, what else did we watch? We watched a whole lot of shit, but Joey was definitely that dude who watched like way more anime than I did. And since my brother-in-law is Vietnamese, like my brother watched a shit ton more of anime. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's definitely
I've always teetered in and out with it. Like, I'll find some that I really, really like, but they're always
Death
just
Note.
like, yeah, I like Death
Death
Note,
Note,
but
yes.
I think anybody, like, that's just impossible not to like. It's a fantastic
Yeah,
fucking
it
thing.
really is.
I watched one recently. I think it was called like No Gun Life or something like that. I don't know, but the guy has a gun as a head, and I was very about it.
Remember, like on Nickelodeon when they do Nick at Night, or not Nick at Night? Sorry, Nick at Night was for like the sitcoms or whatever. But they would do like on Friday or Saturday nights they do like all that, and
Mm-hmm.
Friday they would do Kablam. Do you remember Kablam
I vaguely remember
with
that. Yeah.
Henry and June?
I honestly, when I was a kid, I didn't really watch too much Nickelodeon because I don't know something. It was just like the lesser tiered one to me,
Yeah,
where I was just like, And then the shows, I feel like they had weirder shows to me that, or I don't want to say weird, but just things that didn't really like wasn't marketable to me. I'm like, nothing about like y'all jumping off of like props in a studio and then like getting slime like has any you're not
they
it's not
yeah
doing anything for me.
yeah.
Like maybe like the first like time you watch it you're like, oh, that's
Double
cool.
Dare, Mark Summers, what up, dude?
Okay, well, hold on. If it's Mark Summers, I'm watching.
Okay, yeah. I figured I had to throw something in there to like reel you back in over here on my end.
Next on Unwrapped.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously. Oh god, I fucking he's a treasure. Oh man, I hope he's doing good. Uh, oh man. Let's see. And let's like kind of get into like adult animation because I think it is very pivotal and very cute. Like as much as people deny it, I think that adult animation has so much to do with a very liberal standpoint on a lot of things, like South Park, for example.
Yeah.
I can't wait till they get back into the fucking studio because they're gonna, yeah, it's gonna be some fucked up shit, man. But South Park always speaks the truth at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like
that is the thing I love about that show. It took me like as a kid, it took me a while to get into it, but like.
Well, no, as a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch it.
Oh, word.
My parents were like, you were not watching that, but Michael was like super cool, and he'd be like, hey man, they don't get home for another hour. Come on, like watch it. I was like, hell yeah, they fucking killed Kenny again. Oh man, is this guy ever gonna catch a break? You know?
Yeah, that show is really good. Have you watched the new Solar Opposites?
I heard it has Rick Sanchez in there. His voice. That's it, and I don't know that guy's name. I don't know his name, but he's Rick Sanchez, and I heard that that's...
Yeah, the show is really good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I mean, obviously, it has, it has the tone of Rick and Morty, so, like, obviously, if you like that show, you're gonna have, like, a leg up on that.
I fucking love Rick and Morty, though.
But you can tell it's, like, also in his own way, his own thing. Like, and you can tell he's exploring things that he probably want to explore, but it's harder when you have, like, a partner that you have with.
Yeah.
So it's cool, and I also like it because the boy that's in it, he plays, I don't know, I guess the son or just the teen boy role. He is the kid who's from Goldberg.
No,
Adam.
really?
And I love that little kid.
Oh, I love
feel
the
like I've watched
Goldbergs.
him like grow up because he's like so small when that show starts. And, like, you go through, like, watching him do that whole show. And,
I love
kinda
that.
grow up. And then, in this show, he's, like, not Adam Goldberg, dude. He's like cussing. He's
Oh
doing all
my
this shit.
god,
And I'm
that's
like,
so weird.
your mom would kill you. Where's
Yeah,
Bev?
yeah. Somebody call Bev in here real fucking quick. She'll shut that shit down real quick.
Like, I need a bar of soap if I'm gonna clean your mouth out because this is
Yeah.
ridiculous. I have to do like Google searches to make sure he's like of age. Like, be like, who's allowing you to say fuck,
Yeah,
sir?
yeah, seriously. But Rick and Morty is definitely up on my scale. I love them. I love. Yeah, my dad is kind of into Rick and Morty right now too, because
That show's great.
it's so good and it's so witty. And just side piece, guys, if you guys ever think that you're a Rick, you're not. You're Jerry. Like, I hate guys that come into like my fucking life and they're just like, oh yeah, Rick and Morty, I totally relate to Rick. I was like, in what fucking aspect? Like, you're gonna come
Like
in here
narcissism.
and think that you're a fucking Rick. I was like, you know what? You could at least be Morty where he's fucking cool sometime, but no, you're a fucking Jerry. Like, and you're not like, nah, dude, Beth is way cooler though. She's so underrated. Her whole character is so underrated.
I don't really like Beth. I mean, I don't think I like her in like the later seasons. She gets real complainy.
I could see that.
And then I start remembering that
You're
it's
like,
Sarah Chalk doing
yeah,
that voice.
oh
and I'm
my
like,
god.
you bitch!
You bitch. And it's like, Summer, you dumb bitch. Like,
Summer I do like.
dude,
though.
Summer's got some good character development though.
Mhm,
She has
does.
gotten there. She's like, well, Grandpa, why can't I go with you? And like, she ends up getting like worshipped and shit. Like, I was like, you're a badass, dude. Like, Summer, you dumb bitch. You did it. Like,
Oh,
some. And like other ones that were just like so essential. Like, you know, we mentioned South Park that we watched at like such a really young age was like The Simpsons. The Simpsons.
I honestly never really watched.
Yeah,
Simpsons
I can honestly tell you some stuff about Simpsons.
Yeah, I feel like
I got a tattoo,
knows
damn it. Like,
but it's never really like I get how it is what it is, and I know that it's good. Like I'll still watch it, but it's never just roped me. It's because I think I've never gone through the point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch all of it, and I'll dedicate myself to like watching years of some shit if I'm into it. But I just can't.
oh no, with Simpsons I can. Like, that's just, I mean, I have Bart tattooed on my fucking bicep, dude. Like, I just I love this show. My fucking ringtone is the Simpsons theme song. I love the Simpsons and like everything that they're about. I'm gay for Mole Man too, so you know, um it's just and I love the fact because it coined so many phrases in the 90s and like now in the 2020s we're just like it's so different and they're still very very relevant, but I'm kind of like at the end where I'm just like, okay, well, where are they gonna go with this? Like, this show is I mean, every good thing has to come to an end. I don't think unless Matt Groening can already predict the future that he's gonna live forever, which I hope. But you know, Matt Groening's not gonna live forever, and I wonder what he's gonna do with.
He's gonna walk himself into a fucking.
He's gonna end up going into Futurama and making me another fucking season. Is what I fucking need, Matt Groening.
Oh yeah, we've been rewatching Futurama.
Oh dude, where are you? Have you already done
Yeah, we're like on the later
Seymour?
seasons. Yeah, all of this.
Did you cry?
Shit.
Yeah, Seymour made me cry hard.
It's getting to the point where now they're just joking like, "Oh, it's another dead dog of fries." Like,
Yeah. Oh man, oh dude, Futurama's so good. I feel like I needed it at least at the very least one season, and if Matt Groening would be like, bitch, how many more seasons of Futurama do you want? And I'll just be like, 3. I can't do that. Okay, 2. Like, you know, I'll compromise. So like that's literally I think that it would be so great with everything that we're going through the whole world. I think it would be good to get a good chuckle out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Futurama would definitely be able to deliver.
Especially because you have like that ability to kind of like play with going back in time and like peeking at like how our current state is very fucked up.
Absolutely.
And being like whatever hypotheticals, how that turns the world into whatever it is.
Yes. Absolutely. And like The Simpsons was a huge like mark in the animation department, and you know they have their own time slot and like everything like that, and it's a beautiful thing that they have. And then you come in with something a little bit more raunchier, and I'm not talking about South Park, I'm talking about Family Guy.
Yeah.
Family Guy really did draw a whole different line, and I respect Seth MacFarlane. Also, Seth MacFarlane, if you ever listen to this, I need to know what you're gonna do with the rights of the Flintstones. Just a little side note. So, like, I randomly read in an article that he had gotten the rights to he has the copyrights and everything to the Flintstones. What are you gonna do with that? I need to know. He's creative as fuck because I love American Dad. American Dad, and everyone can fight me on this, and I'll just show them like 3 episodes that will change their minds because American Dad is better than Family Guy.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Roger,
I think all the characters are way more put together.
They're so hilarious. Steve is great, and I can't really choose a favorite character because all the characters.
Whoever voices Steve has a wicked
range
fucking voice, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Dad is gone. We just rewatched that episode like 2 days ago.
I love that show. I think Roger is probably
my spirit animal.
That is just like one of the best written characters I can really honestly think of, because it's just everything that he does is just like, even in his most just stupid points of him just throwing in a laugh, somehow they connect that to somehow be meaningful later, and I'm like, that's just a beautifully well-written character.
He really is. And, let us not forget Ricky Spanish.
Fuck yeah!
Ricky Spanish was by far the best thing that he had ever fucking done. And then his obsession, he loved JonBenet Ramsey. Dude, I love that episode. So good. Oh man, I fucking love American Dad, Simpsons. Daria, which was on MTV. She's a huge staple in my life because I've been called Daria multiple times. And I was like, I get it. Like, I fucking get it. And I'm actually rewatching Daria as well.
Nice.
And I'm just like, dude, this was way before its time. And Daria is like the coolest bitch on the fucking planet. Like, and it's so crazy because it's like so universal to the point where you can literally put that to the kids and the teens that are in high school now, and it's still so fucking relevant. And just like her fucking sarcasm, and just like she never misses a fucking beat, and it's just she's a good ass fucking time, dude. Like, yeah, she is. Her and Jane, that's literally me and you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Oh man, there weren't a lot of animated shows that I did name though. I did name a few that I just straight up was just nah, I ain't watching that shit.
Yeah, I think it really is more those younger
Teacher's Pet. I didn't like that show.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Not for me.
No, not for me. Or Captain Underpants, or just, I don't know. I think I just kind of hit my stride for a while, and then I was just like, nah, I'm kind of over it, because I remember at one point sharing a room with Joey, and he'd sleep on one side, I slept on the other. This dude had this TV program to come on at fucking 5:30 in the fucking morning every weekday so we could watch Fantastic Four and fucking X-Men. So Fantastic Four had 2 episodes that came on at 4:30, at 4 o'clock and 4:30. Joey would wake up at the 4:30 one, and I wanted to fucking gut punch him so hard.
Oh,
I was like, whatever. And then I hear fucking the X-Men theme song. And I'm like, can you turn it down? Like, Jesus. A bitch gotta get ready for kindergarten and shit, and you're over here fucking around.
Goddamn shit is my jellies! Shit here.
I know. God, Jesus Christ. Fuck almighty. And it was just like, it was crazy. But man, animation just plays such a huge role, I think, now. I don't even, what other animated shows that I want to watch or should watch? Do you have any suggestions?
If that Solar Opposites ones, I would definitely suggest. That's about one of the only ones. If you haven't watched F is for Family, that's Bill Burr's show. That one's really
oh my God, we forgot a huge one, Big Mouth.
I hate that show.
How do you not like Big Mouth?
Because it's vile.
It really is. But Nathan Fillion? I was out here yelling Nathan Fillion not even 2 seconds ago.
It's honestly, it's shocking to me because I do love Nick Kroll. generally most
And that
things he
no,
does, I love his work.
and that's so crazy because I fucking hate Nick Kroll. Like I don't like. No, I love him in The League. I can watch him all fucking day in The League.
I don't like
I
The
just
League.
didn't. You see, and I don't like it whenever he tries to do the pseudo like voices, and I was just like, no, it's too much for me. That's not my thing.
The voices is my favorite thing he
it's
does.
not, and it's just like crazy because I actually enjoy him very much in this show. And then John Mulaney.
Oh yeah, they're
John Mulaney and my homegirl who played Mona
Jen
Lisa.
Slate.
Who played Mona Lisa in Parks and Recreation?
Jen Slate.
Yeah, Jen Slate. Fucking love the shit out of her.
She resigned though. No.
Did she really?
Yeah, because she plays her character is African American. She's not.
Yeah.
So I mean that's like super respectable.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people after she did that kind of who are in similar roles as her.
Yeah, like the Cleveland show. The guy who plays Cleveland, he's white, and he's like, nah, dude, that's not okay.
Yeah.
I hope they find somebody that does her voice like nearly as good because she was perfect.
Yeah, I really like that girl. As an actress, she's in a lot of good things. I think she also does. She's either in it or she does an episode of Drunk History that I really like.
Oh man, she's great. She's great. I watched like this little biography thing about her, and I just fell in love with her character just like so much more. And she's.
I think she has a book out.
Does she really?
Yeah, I've like read little parts of it, and it's like kind of inspiring. Like just the way that she kind of like thinks about things, like puts things in words. It's like one of those things that you would read and feel really good about yourself afterwards because you're like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna find my strength and shit.
Fuck yeah. And she's fucking amazing. But I actually do thoroughly enjoy. It's so definitely still some. I'm 28 years old, guys, and I have a lot of cojones, but I do not have the cojones to watch something like that in front of my parents, like with them in the same room. But I had my younger brother watch it. My brother's a dad, he's a family man and all this stuff, and so he watched it, and he's like, honestly, I would rather show AJ this than have that painfully annoying birds and bees talk. And I was like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, another guy at work already did it. Like, I was like, oh God, like, that's fucking crazy to me.
Oh,
And, oh God, there was this other one that came on, like Boondock Saints, not Boondock Saints, but the Boondocks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. That show itself is so real.
Mm-hmm.
It's
really
it puts it in the most bizarre aspects, but so real at the same time. And I'm like, I fucks with you, Huey. I fucks with your Horde. And yeah, I love that. And there was this other, oh man, well no, Black Jesus wasn't even an animation, but I just feel like it's important enough because Black Jesus, that fucking show was fucking fire.
I watched like an episode of it, but I never watched it.
So good. He's like it is literally Black Jesus. He's like, swear to pops, and I'm like, bitch. I'm like, I fucking love you. Like, oh my God. And that show was fucking great, dude. I laugh my ass off every single episode. And it's by myself. So I don't feel the need to like laugh to make somebody else feel comfortable. It's just me genuinely laughing by myself because I think that shit's funny as fuck. Yeah. And then there was this other show that was on there, and it's on Hulu, and I'm so excited. It's called Moral Oral.
Oh yeah, that one is funny.
Dude, that one is so fucked up and funny and hilarious. It's like it's very Robot Chicken-y.
Yeah, it has that same.
Yes. Oh man, Robot Chicken's also great. That's another animation.
I really
deal.
like what's his name, Seth Green's work with animation stuff.
Oh yeah.
He's so funny.
He's great. He's great.
He's short like me. I love seeing pictures of the dude, and I'm just like, you need shoes that make you taller.
How did Willow date you in Buffy? I don't get it. But I love the fact that he also came in on an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, word.
Oh, man. So I think it's about that time for us to wrap it up. So, next week's episode, guys, is actually... I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, that one's going to be so much
This one's
fun.
going to be so good. We're doing Urban Legends. Woof.
I can't wait to hear these.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna like just compare notes and we'll talk about it. But yeah, Urban Legends. If you guys have any suggestions or you guys want me to investigate on certain ones, I'm more than happy to. But yeah, next week's show is gonna be fucking fantastic. I say that about every show is because I honestly truly believe it. So yeah, so we're gonna do Urban Legends next week. If you guys want, not if you guys want, you guys fucking better. I'm just kidding. Follow me on all the social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that mess, YouTube especially, because we're gonna be transitioning to more YouTube-esque, and follow me on Anchor, Google Podcast. There's a caliber of platforms that I am on, so just be sure to follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And then next week we'll be talking about Urban Legends. Dude, I'm just so fucking excited. Just even thinking about it, I'm just like so fucking stoked.
Yes, that's one of those ones that just doing the research for it is just like, all right, I'm hacking into the system.
I gotta crack it to the mainframe. Like, all right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much again for tuning in. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to everybody who's listening, sharing all my shit. I appreciate it, and I love you guys. And of course, thank you 1,010 times to my editor, my right hand lady. Everything in my life would not be possible without this one right here, my co-host, Miss Julia Gulia.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, guys. So we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.